Right, hello. So obviously I'm going to do another one of these, and again they're pretty emotionally tolling, so I don't want to spend a full hour doing this. I've got this on, which is pretty warm, but a lot of you know what this actually is. Mine doesn't have the armband on it because it's an old surplus one when they first sort of put these into production. But I have put a fundraiser on this one because it seems like they're actually popping up for it now. So it means if people want to donate, they can do it officially through the stream, where I don't think YouTube takes a cut of it or whatever, so it's the best way of doing it. Because there's quite a few different ones, but I think this one's just humanitarian aid one, because obviously with sort of how people think, I think obviously a lot of people don't necessarily want us, although it's obviously what I donated my money to personally, the ones that go towards arms, but for humanitarian aid ones, that's the one anyway that should pop up here somewhere. But everybody, but I suppose it's not really good at the moment, is it? As I said, because all the shit at the moment is still really horrible. And I think Putin's just completely fucking lost it at this point, because he just seems to be doubling down on being an idiot. If I oppress the people harder, then I'll win, and that will somehow make Russia like great again or whatever. So yeah, I mean, we can cover any of the updates or any of the sort of stuff around it people want to talk about. But as I said, it's generally a pretty emotionally tolling thing, so you don't want to be sort of constantly So yeah, they blew up, or tried to blow up, didn't they, like a TV tower earlier, and it, funnily enough, blew up a Holocaust memorial or something. So, Putin saying, "Oh, I'm going in to stop the Nazis," or whatever, blows up a Holocaust memorial. Brilliant. Cheers, David. But like I said, at the moment, it's not really a happy thing. And also at the moment, because I've not had 100k for very long, YouTube hasn't registered it yet. I think I have to leave it probably like another month, before it registers on the YouTube system. No, I haven't. But I don't have any satellite internet. But I know Elon Musk's providing with Starlink, hasn't he? You mean, I'd hope somebody, even if Putin tried to do it, it wouldn't happen. But if he does it, then he'll get fucking glassed. You're probably in the right place here, Brian, but I'd say mostly look at my old videos if you've got specific questions. Yeah, I suppose the prices probably are going up again on all that stuff, aren't they, Justin? Because of obviously the actual fears over it now. Yeah, that's brilliant news, Brighton. At the moment, the UK's meant to be accepting refugees, but I don't know if they've really figured out a system for doing it yet. Because again, it seems like a lot of the UK immigration stuff for like refugees is always a bit weird. Not as in we won't take people in, but it never seems to be a very straightforward service. Right, Rich? Yeah, so again, Dan, and didn't mate Corbyn, wasn't he doing fifth column apologies for Putin? Yeah, that was actually before Aussie, before it crashed even harder. But yeah, there was a very interesting video I watched yesterday, or it might have been today. It was a Dr. John Campbell one where he's talking to some bloke who knows what he's talking about, and they're on about like Putin's actual psychology, and it seems like they were saying he seems to be a guy that when he's got an idea in his head, he'll keep trying to do it. All right, Fuzzy? I don't know. I really doubt in some ways the Russians, other than using nukes, have EMP bombs, because what we've learned from a lot of this is their equipment is a lot more shit than everybody thought. Yeah, Philip, all right? Yeah, over here, Brightsol, they've done it on YouTube, they've done it in a lot of the EU, and I think they're probably looking into doing it in the UK, but they've not done it yet, banning RT and a lot of the other Russian channels. And again, it's not that I think they're trying to hide information, but it's because everything the Kremlin's saying at this point seems to just be straight up lies. It's not even what's it like, you know, clever disinformation. It's basically, oh, I'll keep just changing the argument. Well, okay, what I would do if I was the military at the moment, they're actually buzzing Taiwan a bit less, I believe, now, Aussie, because the CCP has decided to kind of change its tactic to look better. Right, Joshua, but again, I won't know everything that's going on at once. But yeah, okay, and this might sound like completely mutually assured destruction, but what I would do, because of how he's acting, I would say get all the fucking NATO forces ready, and then fucking rush his convoys, wipe them out, steamroll on to Moscow. Because from what I understand is a lot of the Russians are getting very anti sort of Putin now and are being arrested for it. So I think you probably could, you know, dethrone him, if you like, quite bloodlessly with the people. But oh, cheers, Connor. That's very nice of you. As we were saying, some guy, I reckon if he's backed into a corner enough and he just loses hard enough, he will do. Which is again why I'm thinking, should we just escalate this further to get rid of him? Yeah. There's been several videos of armored vehicles being towed away on various things to be like scrapped or, you know, like reissued. Yeah, I don't know who that is, Nate Lott, but like I said, I've certainly seen loads of shilling, both like the really kind of predictable shilling. Well, Russia previously said they had lots of the best stuff in the world, and it turns out they don't. They've still got BMP-1s and things rolling into Ukraine, which they officially aren't meant to have. You know, like as in they said that, oh, we completely upgraded those, you know, we'll sold them off. No, they've still got them in their inventories because, you know, turns out they probably, the oligarchs and all that, have been siphoning all the money away from the, you know, Russian army. So it's probably turned out now that, you know, that's why their equipment is so shit, because they don't want to spend the money on the actual stuff. Oh, that's good, Brightold. I mean, yeah, but why don't you think he'll do it anyway, Pro? Yeah, Jay, mate, I think that's the best chance for everybody is if one of his own like people shoots him, or if there's essentially just a revolution inside Russia and they get him. Probably because their T-14 tanks aren't real in a sense. As when I say not real, I don't mean that they don't exist. I mean that they're not field tested. You know, they're probably more of a parade ground show off thing. Yeah, well, but yeah, Fox, because that was the thing that in a lot of the Cold War, lots of parts of Europe did do the citizens militia type thing. There's so much disinformation and like propaganda, comrade, you're not going to know until like a proper place verifies it for you. Again, Joshua, I'd like to believe all that, but you don't know how much of this is exaggerated. Well, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by a gigant basket? Oh, as in you get like a big basket, you put all the food in, and then somebody delivers it for you or whatever. You said quite a bit today. I'm just going to run to the toilet, and I'll probably take this off as much as I obviously like wearing it at the moment, but just because it's going to get too warm with one of these winter things on. I think I'll run to the toilet quickly. Right, back. So he's fucking betraying people then, isn't he? Because they previously told people they could do that, and now what's he changed his mind partway through? Yeah, Finland wants to get into NATO. I think Sweden's voting on it as well. Yeah, Connor, like this is what we're all saying. You know, I mean, I know we're giving all the intel to the Ukrainians anyway, and loads of equipment. But yeah, we've got everything there on the border. We'd be saving a lot of civilian lives, and if Putin's going to press the button, he's going to press the button anyway. Is my opinion, because this is the problem when you've got somebody that's probably gone a bit funny in the head, and he's got access to the button. Is that he could just do it at any point anyway. Yeah, what's the point of a world if Russia isn't in it? All right, that's good, Joshua. Absolutely shit for Russia, because the troops were lied to about why they were there. They were told they were on exercises, maneuvers, peacekeeping missions, whatever, which is why they had really bad casualties in the first thing. Because obviously some troops were lucky that they basically just immediately surrendered when the Ukrainians obviously confronted them. But obviously a lot of them have just been massacred because they went in basically thinking they were just going to roll in somewhere, and people would say, oh, hello, shake your hand, hello, Russian soldier. Right, any person on here that's a fucking disinformation shield denying basically what's turning into a genocide can fuck themselves. Yeah, that's the thing, some guy, because I think if the Russians find out more and more of them, even with them shutting down all the media, what they're doing there, the actual resilience to do anything will grow. Well, yeah, that's what I was saying, CH. Like I was saying, none of the stuff I've said is anti-Russian, like infantry or like regular Russian people. But it's obviously you've got somebody in Russia that's got a gun to the head of the Russians and to now everybody else, who, you know, yeah, that's the thing I've been saying to people, Justin, is as we've seen how crap most of their armor and everything is in terms of the stuff that was meant to be upgraded has never been upgraded, parts are rusting and stuff like that. I honestly don't think a lot of the Soviet nuclear stockpile is still going to be that viable. Oh, that's good, Dan. Is it one of those things where you just randomly find them somewhere obvious, even though you'd look for them over and over and over again? Um, I think Arnold, it was because he initially believed everybody would just like let the troops in and do what they wanted, and he has got to the stage now where I think, in my opinion, because he just keeps wanting to escalate it constantly. Like, oh, I'm going to kill all the civilians, I want because they're not civilians, and he keeps changing his thing. You started it. You started it. Right. As in, cannot. Right. Do I think the actual Ukrainians can stop Putin? Not on their own. Obviously, they're being given loads of support. I'm hoping that. And again, this is the problem. It's probably just going to keep escalating and escalating, and more Ukrainians and Russians are going to get killed because of this. But what you'd hope is that their massive convoy just breaks down, like, some of it gets ambushed and burns up. And hopefully at some point, because there are, again, we don't know how much this is disinformation, rumors that a lot of the troops are meant to be, defecting now, or, their morale is getting really low. Yeah, they just seem to be throwing everything in Pontifex, because we've seen lots of stuff Russia doesn't officially have, and not in like, oh, it's a super high tech thing, but like, oh, this is equipment we were meant to have scrapped or sold off, but the Russians still have it, like the MP1s, and lots of the other really old sort of 50s, sort of 60s Soviet era stuff. Cheap Geiger counters. That's probably gone, the chance to get one now, because generally you'd have to buy one from Ukraine or Russia. That's not happening anymore. So unless you're in America and get a CDV 700, you're out of options. No, I've not seen that kelp. Yeah, that's what we all worry about, some guys. It is definitely going to get worse before it gets better. It's just, do the Western nations basically say we've had enough of your shit, Putin, and try and use overwhelming force for a little bit to completely, stop his advance into Ukraine, and then see what we can do after that. The other day, CH, but YouTube hasn't actually registered it yet. CDV 700, Civil Defense 5 700. I've seen a video of one T90 at least blown up, and wasn't there a Sukhoi 35 or something shot down today allegedly? Again, until it's confirmed by a proper agency, we won't know if it's actually a picture from Ukraine. But the Stingers and like the NLAWs and the Javelins are completely destroying basically everything that they have. I'm trying to think, Connor, off the top of my head. If there's, if you see flashes of light on your mobile phone, then yes. What you could buy from China is one of their sort of cheap plug-in Geiger counter things that plug into your phone. They're not brilliant, but you could at least probably get it. As I've just said, plain mod earlier in the stream, I can't until YouTube actually registers that I've got 100k. Because basically at the moment it's the annoying thing where I've hit 100k, but YouTube seems to take about a month apparently to register that you've got to 100k. Yeah, there's loads of drone footage. It's those little Turkish drones, but they're bloody good, aren't they? Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, Justin, because when stuff like this happens, that always happens. CDV 710. I'm not sure which one that is. Let me have a quick look. It will be part of the series, but again, it's not the normal one. CDV 710. That's a very old one. You probably wouldn't want a 710, but if you can get one for a good price, I'd actually get one just for the sake of having one. But the 710 is a Röntgenauer one, so it's designed for basically you're dead very quickly. It won't pick up lower amounts of radiation. I don't think the thermobaric weapons have been used yet, but I think he's going to up the ante and be like, oh, I'm going to thermobaric civilians because I'm losing. Oh, I'm going to, drop a nuke on civilians because I'm losing. I think they should do it if they want to, Celtic. But sadly, at the moment, we've heard very mixed messages from a lot of governments over here telling us to do it, and if we want to, and then, oh no, you shouldn't do it. Yeah, the SOX one, though, I believe is Russian Flazzy, so you're not going to be able to get one unless you buy a second-hand one. Completely depends, Dan. They have tactical ones from about 1 kiloton up to like the 50 megaton odd, like massive, like SAR bomb style warheads. The Mighty Ohm sounds familiar. Is that like one of the homemade sort of ones? Depends how big it is, some guy. Anyway, let me just run to the toilet again, because annoyingly, I guess I've drank something a bit acidic and it keeps making me want to pee. I'll be back in a second. Right, back, but annoyingly, I think I might have to cut the stream short because it does feel like I've probably eaten or drinking something, you know, that's made me feel a bit off. But right, CM, it's the same thing. It's just they seem to be giving it loads of names because I always used to know them as thermobaric weapons. That's probably all right, but I've never actually played around with a Mighty Ohm, so but there are a few all right Chinese Geiger counters, so you can probably still buy those online, all right? Yeah, but for $30, you could actually buy a rechargeable dosimeter that's probably more reliable. Because I'm pretty sure no name Putin's gone mad. He's like probably going to be dead soon. Like, well, I hope he is dead soon, but you know, dead soon, like as in he's probably got a terminal illness or something. He's gone, oh, I'm fully restoring the Soviet Union, you know, or I'm fully restoring the Roman Empire. Oh yeah, this is the thing is, it is a strict on one, but it's not the original like actual DDR one. It's a you know, like a reprint one. Home Bargains are selling filters. That's pretty interesting, Justin Dave. I once thought Home Bargains would have sold out like, you know, actual masks, but yeah. But yeah, I said, all right, Charlie, I won't be on too much longer. As I said, because well, a dosimeter and a Geiger are essentially the same thing, right? So a dosimeter is in a dose meter, measures your total accumulative dose, but lots of Geiger counters and dosimeters use the names interchangeably. I actually doubt that would work, Bez, in all honesty, because if you see some of the undersea tests they did in the Cold War, the tsunamis they made weren't ever that big. Well, I think we should enforce a no-fly zone, but they're not actually moving many jets through at the moment because they probably can't replace them. It's more just artillery they're hitting the Ukrainians with. But yeah, thanks Stoic Jedi for about the 100k. I'll say thank you to the person who did donate to the charity thing in the thing. But yeah, I might have to cut this stream short, unfortunately, because yeah, it seems like my stomach and bladder have played up a bit. So yeah, I can play some Stalker soon, Dan. Because that's a Ukrainian game. But I didn't play that tonight because I felt like doing a webcam stream without it. And then annoyingly, I felt absolutely fine before I sat down to do the stream. But then obviously I've had food 20 minutes ago, so maybe that's just irritating my stomach. And they'd need a 10-1 ratio, wouldn't they, for attacking a city if they do a Stalingrad sort of Grozny-style defense. But they don't have air superiority. This is the thing. They have completely fucked up this offensive. Everything about it's gone wrong. They've lost T-90s, some of their good T-80s, loads and loads of supply trucks, like early on when they were just fucking driving around like crazy. But cheers, Kay. That's very nice of you, because that doesn't go to me, that just goes to the charity thing, but I think we're all feeling the same thing, like I said, I have. Right. No, you can get rechargeable dosimeters. Dosimeter pens are a thing. They were used in the nuclear industry and like Fallout stuff for ages. Yeah. Anyway, I'll head off. Like I said, sorry, I did want to be on a lot longer tonight, but something's obviously something's obviously gone wrong with something I've eaten or whatever. So I should be up for a stream tomorrow. I don't really feel ill or anything. It's just I need to keep running to the bloody toilet. So anyway, I'll see everybody tomorrow, hopefully, and do a longer stream. Then I might do it a bit earlier in the day if that works better. But right, anyway, yeah, see you all, and like I said, I'll try and be on tomorrow for hopefully where I actually feel better and can do it proper stream.